Welcome to the Pioneer Sideline. Tonight in the Sideline, we'll be talking about baseball and softball as their seasons continue. We'll also be talking about the Point Park track team. And as always, we'll be covering the Pirates. We'll cover the Pirates with our own sideline twist. We'll also be covering the Masters in 5 good minutes and Case and Week. So what are we waiting for? It's time to head on down to the Pioneer Sideline. Welcome to the Pioneer Sideline. I'm your host, Kyle Anthony. The Point Park baseball team is still in the top 25 in the country, so I'm going to send it over to reporter Paul Daniels to see how things are going. So take it away, Paul.
Thanks, Kyle. The Pioneers traveled west last week and played against future KIAC opponent Ohio Christian. The story of this doubleheader matchup was the big inning. Although it was a slow start in the first game for Point Park early on until the last 2 innings where the offense exploded for 9 runs from the likes of Andy Chacon, who hit his 4th home run of the year to increase the Pioneers' lead 4-1. The next inning, Oscar Romero sealed the deal by blasting a grand slam, and that capped a 5-run 7th inning to help Point Park win the first game. It was practically an identical story in Game 2, with good pitching, lots of home runs, and a complete team effort to sweep Ohio Christian. The offense was highlighted by Stefan Conja's 2-run homer and Jordan Crowell's 3-run bomb, and the Pioneers never looked back as they crushed Ohio Christian 14-3. Point Park stayed in Ohio to take on KIAC rival Rio Grande this past weekend. Nathan Spohn pitched well in the first game, going 6 2/3, allowing 2 earned runs and 5 strikeouts. Jay Carew would eventually come into the 7th and grab the final out to get the save and win 4-3. A similar game, too, where good pitching led the way, with Krivojansky going 6+ innings, and Haru came in again to get his 5th save on the year, with a score of 3-1 this time. They played in their second doubleheader against Rio Grande yesterday afternoon, and the pitching in Game 1 propelled the Pioneers to topple the Red Storm 8-1. Jason Kim stood out in this one with a complete game, giving up only 3 hits on the day. Then later in the day, they played in one of their last regular season away games. Unfortunately, Point Park couldn't complete the sweep in this one, and they would go on to lose 4-3. Defensively, there were 4 costly errors, and the hitting just wasn't there like in previous games. However, they took 3 out of 4 from them and will play almost all the rest of their games at home against KIAC opponents.
How big were these wins over Rio Grande?
Well, it's big, Kyle, because they're KIAC rivals, and whenever you can play teams and get wins inside the conference, they're 10-2 in the KIAC, so they're expected every time to go out there and win.
Now, Paul, how important is pitching to this team?
Oh, pitching's huge. Whenever your pitching is going, I mean, for any baseball team, really, if you have 3-4 good pitchers on the team, you're going to always have a chance to win, whether you give up 2-3 earned runs. And this offense showed this weekend that they have the power to overcome huge deficits. So it all starts with pitching, and then the offense comes on later on.
Now, can this team keep winning with them only scoring around 3 runs a game?
Well, if you have home runs like they did all the time, Stefan Conja, who was named KIAC Player of the Week last week just recently, and Oscar Romero and Andy Chacon and Jordan Crowell all chipping in. It's a complete team effort out there always. So even if one guy isn't picking up where they left off, another guy can pick up their slack.
Thanks, Paul. Now we will go to softball, where Trevor Sheets has the story. So Trevor, what's going on with the team?
Well, Kyle, after splitting a doubleheader last Tuesday with Carlo, the Point Park softball team played back-to-back doubleheaders on Wednesday and Thursday versus the Rio Grande Red Storm at Fairhaven Park. The Pioneers split Wednesday's doubleheader, losing 10-2 in 6 innings in the first game and winning the second game 7-2. Rio Grande took the lead early in the first game when Taylor Arndt hit a 3-run homer off of Pioneer starter Hannah Harley. Another run was tacked on in the 3rd, and Point Park responded in the 4th with a 2-run homer from Jessica Beitler to get within 2 runs. But that was all the offense the Pioneers could muster, and after a 6-run 6th inning by Rio Grande, the game was called in the 6th. The second game for the Pioneers was much more productive from an offensive standpoint. Each team scored 2 runs in the 1st inning, but after that, Point Park starter Kate Reese shut Rio Grande down, pitching a complete game, allowing only those 2 runs and striking out 4. The Pioneer bats backed Reese up, scoring runs in the 4th, 5th, and 6th innings. Karen Mao scored in the 4th to give Point Park the lead when Natalie Zivic reached on an error. Taylor Geary homered in the 5th to give the Pioneers a 2-run lead, and Lauren Favola put a game away with a 3-run homer in the 6th. Unfortunately, the doubleheader on Thursday saw 2 victories by Rio Grande. The first game saw an offensive explosion by both teams, trading 5-run innings in the 1st and 2nd. But the Red Storm took the lead for good in the 3rd inning when they scored 2 more runs off of starter Kate Reese to take a 7-5 lead. Rio Grande went on to add 6 runs over the last 3 innings, while Point Park was only able to score 5 for a final score of 13-10. The top performer for the Pioneers in that one was Jessica Beitler, who had 3 RBIs, and another home run, going 2 for 3 in the game. The final game saw a shutout of the Pioneers with a final of 8-0 in 5 innings. Going into action this week, the Pioneers sit 3rd in the KIAC with a 20-12 overall record and 15-5 record in conference. This week, the Pioneers travel to Seton Hill on Wednesday and then have a big weekend when they host first place IU Southeast for doubleheaders on Friday and Saturday at Fairhaven Park.
Now, Trevor, how big was this weekend for this team?
This past weekend was huge for the Pioneers. They could have made up some ground on Rio Grande, who's sitting in 2nd place in the KIAC, but losing 3 of the 4 games just put them at more of a disadvantage on trying to get into the top 2 for the KIAC.
Now, how can this team go from scoring 10 runs to 0 runs?
I have to attribute it to just fatigue. They had played 3 days of consecutive doubleheaders. Tuesday with Carlo, Wednesday with Rio Grande, and Thursday with Rio Grande. I think they just ran out of gas in that last one and didn't have anything to muster.
Now, Trevor, last question. Is pitching going to be the key for this team?
I think it is. Right now, if you look at the 4 pitchers for the Pioneers, the only one that really has a decent ERA is Hannah Harley with a 3.41, I believe. The other 3, Kate Reese, I believe, has a 3.91, and the other 2 pitchers have ERAs above 4. So if the Pioneers have any chance at really being able to compete in the rest of the season and into the playoffs, those pitchers need to bring those ERAs down.
Thanks, Trevor. When we return to the sideline, we'll be going around the track and we'll be covering the sideline. We'll be covering the Pirates only the way we can.
We are a social people. We share our inspiration, wisdom, creations, and memories. We share what makes us laugh and what angers us. Built on the notion of a free flow of ideas, our country thrives on the freedom of speech. Without it, who would watch over our governing powers? And how would we share our history to make a difference for the future? It's this freedom to share that gives us a reason to listen.
Start your morning with City News.
Start your morning with campus news.
Start your morning with political coverage.
Start your morning with fun.
Start your morning with us, only on Daybreak.
Did you know that Point Park has a cheerleading squad?
Don't stop. Don't get it confused.
Not only do our cheerleaders represent Point Park at regional and national competitions, but they also promote spirit and awareness of every sports team on campus. Come to any men's or women's varsity basketball game at home to watch the cheerleaders perform at halftime and cheer from the sidelines from the first jump ball to the final buzzer. Sports not your thing? You can catch the cheer team lead the crowd at the fall and spring pep rallies as well, or at several competitions around Pittsburgh each year. So what are you waiting for? Show the Point Park cheerleaders the support they show you.
We know you're wondering what the A-list celebrities are up to. Well, here at Entertainment on Point, we're wondering too.
Have you heard about James Franco and Seth Rogen's new movie?
No, but have you heard Beyonce's new single? Did you see what she was wearing on that red carpet?
Honey, that was not cute.
Did you see what happened on Scandal this week?
No, I was too busy keeping up with the Kardashians.
No matter what your guilty pleasure is, we've got you covered. Entertainment on Point. Get to the point of pop culture.
Yeah!
Now we will be going around the track with Blaine King. So Blaine, take us around the track.
Thanks, Kyle. Both the men and women track and field team took part in the Slippery Rock University Open on April 2nd. We'll start with the women as they set a few school records at the Slippery Rock Open. Bianca Cotton set 2 records as she continues to soar in the women's triple jump and long jump. In the triple jump, Cotton placed 4th as she set the school record with a leap of 10.919 meters. She also set the school record in the long jump with a jump of 4.68 meters. Katie Garnacia continues to dominate on the track as she set the school record in a 5,000-meter run, clocking in at a time of 18 minutes and 44 seconds. Placing second, Vanessa Sperano, set the school shot put record with a toss of 9.4 meters, and Candace Stein set the school record discus record with a toss of 24.88 meters. And Oliko Oklea Binaro, a tough name to pronounce, set the record for the 800-meter dash with a time of 1 minute and 5 seconds. On the men's side, they set a few school records as well. UVU's very own Eric Torres placed second and set the school record in the 5,000-meter run with a time of 15 minutes and 56 seconds. Chris Hunt set a school record in a 1,500-meter run with a time of 4 minutes and 19 seconds. The Pioneers also set a school record, team record in the 4x400-meter relay with a time of 3 minutes and 27 seconds, which was good enough for 5th place. Josh Wright set a school record in the discus with a toss of 35.32 meters, and Michael Beavis set the school record in the shot put with a toss of 10.15 meters. Sean Berry had a productive day as he set the school record in a high jump with a leap of 1.8 meters. Berry also placed 4th in the triple jump with a jump of 12.95 meters and 5th in the long jump with a jump of 6.02 meters. DeAnthony Morgan and Zach Watt both had good days as well. Morgan placed 5th in the 200-meter dash with a time of 23.58 seconds, and Watt placed 5th in the 400-meter dash with a time of 52.53 seconds. The next meet for both teams will be on Saturday, April 11th at the Westminster College Invitation.
Who are the stars of this team?
Well, Kyle, if you look on the men's side is Sean Berry. He's tearing it up in the KIAC. He was just named KIAC Player of the Week for his long jumps. And on the women's side, it continues to be Katie Garnacia.
Now, Blaine, which team is better, the men's team or the females team?
Well, Kyle, it's hard to determine who's better because they face different competition. The men, they technically face they have difficult tasks in their competitions, while the females, theirs is kind of a little easier from a guy's point of view. But if I had to pick one, it seems right now the men are a little better.
Now, Blaine, how long will it take for these teams to be true contenders?
Well, they're in their inaugural season right now, so it's gonna take some time for this team to gel. But I wouldn't be shocked if we see them starting to come together by the end of the season. Overall, though, I give it about a year to see how good this team could actually be, if not 2 years, because they are both young teams. So give it a year or two.
Thanks, Blaine. Now, the Pirates season kicked off yesterday. Now, one of our reporters went to the streets to get the scoop on a team, but he added his own twist. So let's take a look.
Hi, I'm Josh Troop, and we took a camera outside of PNC Park to see how much fans really know about their 2015 Pittsburgh Pirates on this, the first edition of Pioneer Sideline. So, big fan or a casual fan?
I watch. I like it when I'm not working on my music.
We grew up going to Forbes Field and sitting in right field to be near Roberto Clemente.
I love being at the games. I've always gone since I was little.
I've coached youth sports. I'm really into baseball.
What do you think of the Pirates' new minor league team, the West Virginia Goldfish? Good name for a mascot?
I collect minor league fitted hats, so I'm pretty happy that I can get a fitted with a black and gold goldfish on it.
Let me see now. Pirates and goldfish, how does that correlate?
It should be like a flathead catfish or like a muskie or something mean.
It's different.
It could work. It could, well, yeah. You can always change it, but okay, I'll go with goldfish.
Doesn't sound very exciting, but...
And Will Ferrell, are you familiar with him?
Yeah.
The Pirates signed him to a one-week contract to try and promote one of his new movies with Kevin Hart. Do you think that the Pirates bringing in celebrities to play in their games is something that they should continue doing?
I think that that's a good idea because I'm an actor, and I am presently in a movie. So if Will Ferrell calls me, my name is Lonzo Green, and I'll work alongside of you.
You want to fill the seats? Bring somebody that people want to see to start with.
So they have a third base prospect in the minors named Kyle Anthony, and he's tearing it up right now. But the Pirates say...
I saw that movie, Two for the Money, with Matthew McConaughey.
No, a little different. Do you think they should leave him down and get him some more at-bats, or do you think they should hustle him up to the major leagues?
They should hustle him up to the major leagues because for the Pirates, you're only going to get X amount of years out of anyone who isn't McCutchen before they break out for more money.
Let him stay down there a little bit, get a little more practice, then bring him up. They brought some people up early before that didn't do so well. They had to send him back down there. Let's leave him there so when you bring him up, he's ready.
Everybody who's that good in the minors is going to get a shot to come up.
Send him up and get him started.
What's your prediction for the team this year?
We're gonna win.
World Series?
Yep.
World
All
Series
the
or
way.
bust?
I also think we're going to the World Series.
Who do you think will beat in the World Series this year?
New York.
I think the Pirates, they have a chance to win the series, and Buster Olney picked them on ESPN.
All I have to say is I should be in the major leagues because I had a great spring. Thanks, Josh. When we get back from break, we'll be covering the Masters in 5 good minutes, but we'll put our own twist on it.
Here at the Pioneers Sideline, we get freshmen involved as quickly as possible so they get the real-world experience on air and behind the scenes to set themselves apart in internships and potential jobs. Blaine, where is that video? I needed it in Key Pro like yesterday.
All right, I got you, Chris. But I got a quick question for you guys.
What do you mean the questions?
Like,
it's always a question.
Look.
It's always a... What? Where is he? Blaine!
Blaine! Blaine!
Freshman, you can't find any good ones anymore.
Do you know all the things you can do with your student ID? Along with getting discounts to some of the restaurants around campus. Showing your Point Park ID can net you deals on tickets to theaters in the Cultural District. To check out all the current options, just search Student Discounts on the Point Park University homepage.
Welcome back to the Pioneer Sideline. We're putting a twist on 5 good minutes. We're going to be covering the Masters. I broke out the Wii. We're playing Tiger Woods 2010. The first golfer we have joined is Phil Papour from Cranberry, Pennsylvania. Phil, take your shot.
Thank you, Kyle.
I'll be introducing Trevor Sheets, my color commentator.
Thank you, Kyle. Now,
Ooh.
Phil Papour coming out of Cranberry.
Ooh.
Don't
He has
know
to
much
hold
about
these.
him. I'm
Ooh.
hoping his colorful attire will not be a distraction to the rest of the players. Looks like he's preparing for his swing there.
It doesn't look like he hit it very far.
Ooh, that was...
Beautiful shot, boys.
That was a little rough there from Papour.
He hooked it. He hooked it in.
I'm thinking that that color combination is just very distracting to not just
Now
the other players, but himself
From Franklin, Connecticut, we have Paul Daniels.
Now, from what I know about Paul, he is a power hitter, so look for a long drive out of him.
Oh, that's a beautiful shot by Paul.
Oh. You know, it kept it just in the fairway. The rough just let him keep it in.
You know what?
But decent lie.
And from Oakland, PA, we have Jesse Irwin.
A little bit unknown here with Jesse Irwin. I'm expecting big things out of him.
No, his pants do match his golfer.
That's true.
Oh,
He's
now
not nearly as distracting.
Oh, now he gets ready. Look at his knee bend.
It looks like he's struggling there a little bit, Kyle. I'm not sure what the situation is.
Now look at. Did you hear that ping? That's a beautiful sound. You want to be able to hear that. Now he hit the ball like Paul, but
Yeah,
this is staying a little more on course.
The rough helped him out a little bit on that one. Actually was able to stay on the fairway as opposed to Daniels, who drove just a little too far.
Thank you. Phil Papour is coming up next. Now, he struggled in his first shot.
Yes, he did. He looks like he has a... I don't know if he's going to be able to do a straight-on shot here. He might have to go around some of those trees.
Hey, don't screw up.
Got a little bit of playful banter there from his components as well. Or opponents, excuse me.
Well, no, it wasn't a bad shot.
Oh,
but if it stays in...
I beg to differ.
You know what? He got it where he needed to go, though.
That's true. He has a decent lie. Just see if he can chip it onto
Oh,
the green.
no,
next
it's
one.
Jesse Irwin with the blue pants. No, that means Paul set himself up in a beautiful position.
He's the closest to the pin, but I think Jesse has the better lies standing on the green as opposed to the rough. Or the fairway, excuse
No,
me.
but if he puts too much into this, he'll be hitting the stands.
That's true, and if he goes too short, there is that water hazard there. So he's a very temperamental spot for Irwin.
Now, as Jesse gets ready. Oh. Ooh.
Very,
that was a
very
beautiful
nice
shot. That was a beautiful shot. I mean, what can we say?
It was good form. Just went with the shot he had. Didn't try to do too much.
Now, Paul showed him a little bit of sportsmanship. I'm not sure how much Oh, and Paul still has not golfed yet.
Wow, so Papor really struggling here on the first hole. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to keep it going.
I don't know if Papor's going to get out of this alive. Not a bad shot, not a bad shot.
Decent chip on.
Now, it should be time for Paul to come up.
You would assume. Everyone else is on the green, so I would assume Daniels will be up next.
But, you know, he's had a long layoff, though.
That's true, so he might be a little rusty. We'll have to see.
And he is golfing as a lefty.
A little lie there, so he's really going to have to get some arc on this shot. No line drives.
I'll tell you what, he put it where it needed to be.
What a shot there from Daniels.
But it should be Phil. Now, Phil has put himself in a very compromising
He
position.
needs to drain this long-range putt.
It's Jesse the blue pant.
Pressure's still on Papor, though. He needs to hit the shot early, or he's not going to have a chance in this round.
Now, they are going in a downhill slant.
Yeah, Irwin will benefit from the other players will benefit from seeing Irwin play early on in this this tough green. Looks like he's lining up his shot here, giving himself a little bit of time.
I mean, he's not trying to let the segment run out before anybody else finishes.
We're not going to know who wins this tournament.
Oh,
so close.
A little too much gas. I think it should be Phil Papor up next.
He did play into the pace of the green, but just it wasn't good enough. All right, we got Papor, who needs to drain this to have a shot.
Now, it's all up to Paul, though. I think Paul's in a good spot here.
Oh, he's definitely in the lead. Papor can put some pressure on if he can drain this long-range putt, though.
Papor, he lines up. He put a lot on this, though. Oh. Too long.
Down.
Just.
It's all
Three
about
worst words in golf. You're still away.
No, he didn't put too much precision. And he's still. He has to be at least a double bogey.
The golfers are just they're putting too much on this fast green. They're just overhitting the ball.
I think I picked some hard greens for them. I thought they'd do better.
Oh, another miss from
He
Papor.
didn't play the slant.
Then it all just kind of went straight for on that one, and obviously did not pay off for him. I'm telling you, I think it was the color combination, just too distracting.
Now look. Now Paul, if Paul makes this, he will birdie the hole.
And he has a decent line. Disappointing from Daniels. He could have put the hole away right there.
That's what he needed.
Try again.
No.
All the guys having trouble putting it in the hole.
It's a tough par for Paul, though.
Decent effort out of Daniels. And he's definitely putting the pressure on the rest of his teammates.
Now, it's on Jesse. If Jesse makes this here, he knocks Phil out of contention. And Phil will be in last place for the draft.
Yes, he will. And looks like Irwin's really lining up his putt. Doesn't want to mess this up and give Papor a chance.
I certainly would, too.
All right, Jesse. I think the fans are getting a little restless here.
There we go. And we got a par from Irwin. So we have a tie there for first and second. How are we going to solve this there?
But I'll actually be choosing the winner here. Since we had two ties, Paul had the longest drive. So Paul's going to get the first pick in the Masters draft. And when we get back on Courthouse, Paul's going to be leading it off, and we're picking your winner.
has a purpose, has a dream to have their voices heard, no matter where they come from, no matter where they go. As an American, it is their right to have freedom of speech. I have a dream that one day this message will speak louder than words, that even the quietest voice will not go unnoticed. That is my dream. What is yours? For more information, visit www.freedomofspeechpsa.org.
So in the case of the week, we'll be talking about who's going to win the Masters. I'm joined by our golfers from last segment, Phil, Jesse, and Paul. Now, Paul, you won it. You had the longest drive. You're starting it off.
Yeah, Kyle, and I got the Australian Jason Day here. He's going to win the Masters and win it all. His first green jacket, his first major.
All right, with the second pick, I will happily take Rory McIlroy.
I respect both of your decisions, and even though my performance out on the links wasn't as great as I expected, I am going to go with Ricky Fowler, the man that finished in the top 5 in all 4 majors last year, the only man to do that other than Tiger Woods and Jack Nicklaus in the whole PGA Tour existence. So.
And wear as much Puma.
Exactly.
There's a little bias over here, but obviously Jason Day is going to win this thing. Yeah, it's you just put your money on it. 12-1 odds. He's played 6 events this year, 5 of 6. Which he finished in the top 20 or better. And the Masters, Augusta, is all about knowledge and how to play the course. That's why the old guys can compete at it at such a high level. In his past 4 Masters, he finished 20th, 3rd, and he didn't play in 2012. He was hurt. In 2011, he came in 2nd. So it's his time.
I think the main argument that you can make when you're talking about the Masters is composure. And when you're talking about composure, I don't think there's anyone out there at the moment that has better composure than Rory McIlroy. I think you look at what he's been able to do. He's recreated the branding of golf that Tiger Woods was able to do coming up into the 2000s and the 90s, and I think that he is the new face of golf, and if there's one person that has the best shot of actually winning this thing, I think you got to give it to Rory.
But you have to remember, the last time that he got branded as the next coming of the best golfer, he did fail. He went through a very tough stretch.
Yeah.
Now Nike's giving that title back as the second coming to Tiger, but I don't know if he can carry it, though.
He's not going to be the same.
I think there's way too much pressure on Rory. I think the thing with Ricky Fowler is the fact that he really wants to get redemption for last year, to be that close in contention of all 4 majors and not be able to come through. And, I mean, even though his regular tournament appearances, his performance is not as good, to be that great in the big show, I think this year he's going to step through, and it's going to be at the Masters, the tournament he wants to win.
But for guys who aren't able to handle the pressure, like Ricky Fowler, who did well, I'm not saying he didn't do well, but he wasn't able to make it happen any of those times. You have to wonder which guy's able to take that extra step to finish with the 1 next to his name. And I think Rory has a good shot of doing that, not just because he's matured since the last time that you're referencing to, but I think as a player, his marketing, the marketing that Nike has done and what he's done as a brand with himself, I think has created a very confident golf player.
Guys, why aren't we talking about Bubba Watson, who's going for his 3rd, or Jordan Spieth, who is the best?
Yeah, I mean, Bubba Watson, though, if he were to win, that would be 3 out of 4, and only Bobby Jones has done that. So that would be some really high hopes if he were to do it again. And only 1 other player has defended the Masters title. That was Tiger. And he's one of the greatest.
I personally
ever.
don't see Bubba being able to do it back-to-back. And the problem with Jordan Spieth is the fact that he is so young. So I think that he'll have kind of the same problem that Ricky Fowler had. Because Ricky, I mean, he is 26, so he was significantly older than Jordan, who's 21. But at the same time, I mean, the big show is the big show.
Yeah.
And 26 is still young for golf.
A back-to-back in the Masters. I mean, that is...
It's only happened once.
All right, guys, I'm sorry. I got to cut you off here. My winner is going to be Paul Daniels. I like Jason Day, even though I think personally Dustin Johnson's going to surprise some people when he's going to win it. So thank you, guys. Join us again next week at the same Pioneer time, the same Pioneer channel, and of course, the same Pioneer sideline.